Hey, gorgeous souls, how are you today? So I just want to take a moment and talk to you a little bit about the sacral chakra and something that I had a little epiphany about around guilty pleasures, or that so-called, phrase guilty pleasures. So we're working through the chakras in this coming up 7-day experience online. And so what I did the other day is kind of gave some information on the root chakra. You can go back and look at the video about that. And so as we start moving up, so the root is really about being in your body and being grounded and feeling like you belong and having safety and security and stability and letting go of fears, right? And these chakras develop actually some within the womb, some right after we're born, so throughout our progressive life. And so what we're doing and why this matters is we are allowing ourselves to really explore, like, what are our belief systems with ourselves, right? And with the world around us, and how do we show up in the world? And what are we holding ourselves back from really living that life fully and really embracing all of who we are as we move forward in life? So with the sacral chakra, it's really around your emotions and your desires and your passions and your sensuality, your sexuality. And so on the good side of this, right, it's like when you have that chakra and you're in alignment, you're moving, right? It's a fluid chakra. It's one that's really the water element, right? So we kind of picture it orange when you look at the chakras going up, but it's actually the element of water, so it's fluid. So think about like creative juice flowing, right? So it sits in the belly and it's lower in the stomach, like underneath the navel, and it's really where we hold what I call our womb wisdom. So this wisdom that comes from within that we've always had and we're always able to access, and it's really around the divine feminine and really embracing your femininity, but also allowing the masculine to work with it. So when you have issues in that chakra, a lot of times we're cut off from, first of all, our emotions, right? So just not allowing ourselves to feel and numbing out. Also around not allowing pleasure. So like thinking of that idea when somebody says, what's your guilty pleasure? Well, why should it be guilty? Why can't you just do something that you want to do and enjoy the pleasure it gives you and not feel guilty about it, right? So guilt is one of those that actually lies in that chakra that can really hold you back. And guilt can also turn into other really not good things in the body through disease. So what you want to do is have that chakra in alignment through just tapping into, really embracing, even taking your hands to your belly and just breathing into it, knowing that you have this area that houses all of this beautiful womb wisdom and Shakti energy and creative juice. And when you're in the flow, when you allow your body to move, you allow that flow to happen. And when you kind of are stagnant, you don't allow the flow to happen. When you're cut off from emotions, when you're cut off from allowing yourself pleasure, when you're cut off from your sexuality. And for women, this is actually a huge thing. There are so many women that are completely cut off from their sexuality. And a lot of times this goes back to old ideas, old beliefs, old things that were told to them, sexual abuse. So again, it's really around allowing yourself to be and embrace who you are and those feelings that you have, and then tapping into what makes you happy, what is pleasurable to you, what do you want to create, how do you feel about creating, right? So it is this area that really is where creation comes from, and it's also so powerful because it's the place that kind of passes all of our energy centers through it. So we really work with our sacral chakra to get into our desires instead of push them away. So when we're cut off from desires, sometimes again, we're cut off from our divine feminine. We're also cut off from our sexuality. And again, this can go back to old stuff. So the idea is that as you work up through them, you do an exploration exercise through the 7-day experience I have coming up, where you can kind of ask yourself the questions and tune in and listen to the answers, and then work through the healing to see if that relates with you or if it doesn't. Because there's an overlap with the chakras. It's not just a definitive line of like, okay, this is this one and it belongs to this, and this one belongs to the body, and this one belongs to the feeling of love. They all tend to work together, and when they are in alignment, you feel amazing, right? So you're tapped in, you're in alignment, you're connected with your spirit self, with your sacred self, with your heart, with your inner desires, with that belonging on this earth, with owning and embracing and expressing who you are. So it's really important that you have all of this in alignment. And this this is not, I think that there's a lot of like, buzz right now around the word chakra. This is not a trend. The chakras have been talked about and researched and worked through for thousands of years, right? So this isn't going to go away. And what I can tell you is if you don't know what your chakras are, you're not really in touch with them yet, then this would be a perfect chance for you to get in touch. And there's actually something super awesome coming up. So anybody who's in the 7-day experience gets a chance to win a retreat with me in Costa Rica coming up in July. And that's going to be the whole immersion of being with soul sisters, doing yoga, in meditation, exploring the body, having delicious food, being on the beach, seeing the magic, the monkeys, everything that Blue Spirit Retreat Center offers. It's the place, the venue that has beautiful accommodations. Their food is amazing. Their yoga studios are awesome. So it's about coming together to release whatever's in your way so you can let loose and really just bring into reality what your desires are. So a lot of, beautiful things coming up. So if you want to join us in the 7-day experience, we start on the 15th of May. And I would love to have you there just to help guide you through this new exploration of self-awareness, through your chakras and through your emotions, so that you can come out on the other side feeling more empowered, more clear on what your next step is, and more connected to your intuition, your body, and to what you're really wanting and desiring in your life. So I will see you over there, and I'll drop a link for you below. Have an awesome evening.